You know, Bob, I bet a lot of realtors and potential borrowers didn't know that when a mortgage provider runs their credit report, there are other mortgage providers that are willing to pay the credit bureaus to obtain their name, email address, cell number in an effort to contact them and steal the business. But there's a way to avoid getting all those annoying phone calls and emails.
Mm-hmm. And you know what, Rick? Let's talk about that.
Hello and welcome to this episode of What's Their MO. I'm Rick Masnick.
And I'm Bob Orlando, and today we want to go over how to avoid getting dozens of annoying phone calls and text messages from mortgage companies that aren't really doing anything illegal, but maybe just a little bit unethical.
Yeah. As most people know, when your credit report is run by any credit provider, there's an inquiry that gets added to the credit report. Now, the inquiry stays there for about 120 days, just falls off on its own, but each inquiry has its own unique code, and that code plays a role in calculating your credit score.
Yeah, so if you have a credit card company that's running your credit, and you might lose a couple of points, for initial pulling your credit for a short period of time. But if you have several credit card companies that run your credit, you'll lose quite a few points because it looks like something's wrong. Or it looks like you're trying to obtain more credit than you probably can afford, or it could even be show that you're getting denied, and you just keep trying to find new credit. And what will happen is that in either one of these cases, it will eventually weigh down on your credit score, and it will really affect it going forward.
And alternatively, if you have several mortgage providers run your credit report, it doesn't hurt your credit score in the same way because the credit systems were designed to recognize that you're applying for one mortgage and you're just trying to get the best rate and or closing costs possible on the home that you're about to finance.
Yeah, but because the mortgage inquiry has its own specific code, it can become a commodity to competing mortgage companies. They can subscribe to a service through the credit agency, obviously for a fee, where they'll be sent your name, phone number, and email address of anyone that has a recent mortgage inquiry. What they'll do is they'll start calling the borrowers and try to sway them away from the original loan officer and initial application. These leads, what are called trigger leads.
Yeah. And now we're not saying that all mortgage companies will pull this stunt, but I know from personal experience, I've had borrowers who were contacted by these other mortgage companies after buying a trigger lead, and they're claiming that they're just reaching out to help me finish their mortgage application when what they're really trying to do is just steal the business.
Right. And there have also been stories of mortgage companies trying to buy leads and information and then saying defamatory things for, about your current mortgage company that you're working with. For instance, they may be a high-cost lender, or you really don't want to work with them, or they may even have a bad reputation. So always remember just to reach out to your loan officer to get the facts straight.
Yeah. And one way to avoid this is to opt out with the credit reporting agencies. This is something that's supposed to be available on every solicitation, and it gives the opportunity to block being put on any of the lists that we've just described, and that's with any business category, not just mortgages.
Yeah. So what we've done here is we've produced a document, and the link is below or off to the side here somewhere, that has QR codes so to get you onto the do not call list, and also have your way to opt out of the 3 major credit agencies. Then you won't be bothered by all these annoying situations.
Yeah. Now, if you found this information useful, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. If you know someone else that this information could benefit, please forward this on to them. But for now, that concludes this episode of What's Their MO. I'm Rick Masnick.
And I'm Bob Orlando, and we'll see you next time.